Hot on the heels of the excess spending of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, this Tuesday we're being urged to put our money to good use. Hundreds of Australian charities and not-for-profits have joined the global Giving Tuesday movement, aiming to raise $750 million for good causes. Australia's Ambassador for Giving Tuesday, Tim Costello, joins us now. Tim, thank you so much for coming in. So Giving Tuesday, it's become a huge tradition in the US over the last few years. Is it catching on here?
It certainly is, and it started a year later, 2013 here, but the click frenzy of Black Friday, Cyber Monday is like a tsunami of billions being spent, and back comes a wave of generosity and compassion, because no one owns this movement, and that allows people to say, I'm going to respond by giving. And anyone can actually say, I'm going to set up a disadvantaged group, I'm going to do some good. So it really is a cultural response to that tsunami of spending and at times greed.
Well, yeah, as you say, it's an antidote of sorts to this online spending spree leading up to Christmas. But is there a risk, though, that people will have no money left by then? They've spent it all on stuff that they probably never use again?
So I think this goes to our humanity. We know deep down it's more blessed to give than to receive. We know that our big problem is what do you buy for loved ones and friends who already have everything, and what do you buy for yourself when largely you've got far too much stuff. So this really is a moment for pausing and saying, I can actually do good rather than just mindlessly spending on stuff that I'm never really going to use. And my loved ones will say, oh, I didn't really need that. Yes, there's always a worry that people will spend too much, but this is why this is a good cultural moment.
It's about then restraint and being conscious of your spending?
You know, we confuse cost of living pressures, and they're real, with cost of lifestyle. We often start to forget how blessed we are. You know, I had holidays growing up as a kid just down on the bay in Melbourne, and I was happy. Now, we almost think it's a fundamental human right to go to Bali or to go to Europe. We were just as happy back then. So this is this moment of saying, actually giving, doing good, might make me much happier.
What sorts of organisations are getting involved in Giving Tuesday? I know it is growing by the year.
Yeah, so lots of not-for-profits and charities here in Australia. Literally thousands of businesses and schools and others are signing up and saying, we want to be part of something positive, something proactive that is good for people and good for our planet. So it's quite remarkable how many are getting on board and saying this could be a tipping point in the culture rather than just mindless spending.
What are some of the examples of the appeals being made by charities?
Well, the Children's Hospital in Melbourne, where I'm from, is trying to raise $100,000 for a special microscope for children and care. Who wouldn't want that? The ballet in Brisbane is raising money for tutus. There's others who are making prosthetic breasts, knickerknockers, I think they're called. So when you think of human need, we're all fragile humans just trying to get by. And we can actually do this together and lift all of that sort of struggle town and suffering. This is the sorts of causes that people are going, yeah, that catches my imagination.
The estimate, I understand, is $750 million to be raised by Giving Tuesday this Tuesday. Hopefully we'll exceed that. But do you notice that more money is pouring into the overall charity pool for Giving Tuesday, or is it shifting donations from other times of the year?
Thankfully, it's not shifting. It's not substitution. That would be terrible. We'd be cannibalising our charities that need gifts. Look, overall, Australians have flatlined and are giving less to charity. We have turned inwards. We are worried about ourselves and our lives. That is a big worry. This is why this movement in adding to generosity in giving, not subtracting from other charities, is actually really, really good.
We've been running the details on the screen as we're talking, Tim, and also if you can tell us what is the best way for people to get involved, and if they can't give money, they can give time, can't they? So what should they do if they want to step up on Tuesday?
Well, we'd love you to go to givingtuesday.org.au, and if you can't give money, you can give your time, you can give your talent, you can give your voice, you can volunteer. We actually are truest as humans when we're empathetic. We say, wow, what would it be like if I was in that situation and I can make a difference by giving or volunteering? That actually builds our deepest humanity.
Oh, it's a wonderful initiative and hopefully people will leap on board. Tim Costello, we do thank you for your time tonight.
A pleasure.